All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am Is There No One Else? And in today's video, I wanted to cover my thoughts on the latest August live stream for Ashes of Creation, which is the node system. Now, for those of you guys that don't follow, Nice Gaming and we do a weekly podcast called Voices of Vera. We're 8 episodes in where we cover updates, thoughts, opinions from the community on different aspects of Ashes, people's opinions, different things that are happening, and even live streams. And we just did our emergency podcast on Friday after the live stream happened, and we went through our thoughts. And so I wanted to do a video also going through my opinion and kind of provide a tangent for you guys, my overall thoughts on where the nodes are and where everything is going. And so that's what this video is going to be, my perspective. So yeah, let's dive into it. So overall, I bounced back and forth. I was trying to figure out how I was going to rate, like in my head, like how good was this live stream? Was it good? Was it satisfiable? Did it meet the requirements of being average? Was it below average? Whatever. I bounced back and forth, and I was watching it for a bit, and then I rewatched it, and yeah, overall, I settled on it, in my personal opinion, being an 8 out of 10, and I wanted to explain why. So first of all, you walk in, they go through they show you outside of the node system, they show you the new harvesting graphics, the new visual effects, and they look better. Before, when we saw the harvesting mechanics before, I argued that they were on par with what New Worlds is. In New World, I think most people agree New World's harvesting mechanics are some of the best in the MMO space. Therefore, pre-Alpha 2 Ashes, as it stands right now, I would contend that their art visual effects for harvesting right now are better than New World's, which is a pretty huge accomplishment for Ashes to already be competing with MMOs in the space right now as a pre-alpha. I thought that was pretty cool. And the other thing is we've been talking on the podcast quite a bit for the last couple of weeks. There have been a lot of talks from Asmongold, bigger content creators like Asmongold, talking about how is Ashes of Creation's art, is it already outdated? Is it already not good? They're using Unreal Engine 5. Everything looks kind of blurry. Things are meshing together. It doesn't look very well done. Been having that discussion a lot, and it's been mine and Nice's contention that as a pre-alpha 2, the world is so expansive that they haven't gone through and fine-tooth combed everything. And so when you look at the node reveal, I think it shows what the game is more or less going to look like when it goes live. I thought it was very well done. Props to Steven for putting a cape on and have the cape flowing the entire time. I mean, that's the type of aesthetic that can always catch my attention. But yeah, just the visual graphics of this one were just so much better than some of the other live streams. Now, I'm not faulting anybody for saying that graphics and other ones are not as good, but if you pay attention to what's been going on from month to month, you can see that, yeah, there's just some areas that aren't polished, and this is one of the more polished areas. Steven even goes on to mention it. He's like, yeah, this is what we want Alpha 2 to look like. And yeah, I think it looks great. I think it looks visually stunning. I thought the node itself looked great. The lighting, the shot, like all this was fantastic. Now, I'm not an art guy. I'm not trying to say art, like, if you don't like how the armor looks, I mean, that's a different thing. All I'm trying to say is like the visual effects, like how everything contrasts, but yeah, those sorts of things I thought were very good. And so hats off to the art team in that department. I thought they hit it out of the park, going for an aesthetic, and I thought they nailed it. I really did. But that leads me to talking about the node system itself. And I knew, like, for those of you guys that don't know, nodes is the city system essentially for Ashes of Creation. So you do quests in an area. If more people are doing quests in an area, you're gaining experience in that area. When you gain enough experience, you start off as like a level 1 village where you have NPCs that can assign quests. At that point, you can appoint a mayor to run through things, and cities or these node systems are very modular in that the mayor actually assigns where these buildings go. So not every city, even if you decide to be the same type of city, not every city will have the same layout. And so the mayor actually has a bunch of important tasks to do, as far as like, okay, if we get attacked by monsters, which is something that can happen in this game. If we get attacked by monsters, we probably want our more important buildings towards the center, and that way if stuff gets destroyed on the outer walls, it's not as big of a deal. You know, just stuff, sort of layouts like that. Are we going to be more blacksmithing oriented? Are we going to try and attract everybody? Are we going to be the new player hub where we have a little bit of everything? Like those sorts of things. And so mayors are going to make a lot of decisions for what their node is and the direction of their node, and they can be good mayors, they can be bad mayors, they can be corrupt mayors. There's just all sorts of of different aspects, and different players in this different role are going to create a different environment. And so I think that was a really cool aspect of what they were talking about. They also went on to show that mayors can essentially assign like writ requests. I forget the exact word for it, but if you're trying to build a certain building and it tells you need 10,000 stone and 5,000 wood, you can send out quests for players in the area, and you can tell them, hey, we need this. If you send it back to us, we will give you node currency so that you can spend it in the area. And this is your way of, you give us the resources, we'll build it, and then we pay you in return. And the more I thought about that, the more I just was blown away by the thought process behind it, because I can't think, there's more to nodes than this. I could go on and I could talk for 45 minutes to an hour. A live stream fully encompassing nodes could go for 8 to 10 hours, probably plus, because it is such an extensive system that interweaves with all the other systems in this game. But just like the freehold system, where they're assigning value to artisan crafters and assigning value to high-end expertise and saying, hey, like, it's not crafting, master crafting in this game isn't for everybody. Like, you're going to be, if you're a master in this game, you're actually a master. It's a rarity to be that. I think that's great. As far as citizenship goes, it's not a rarity, but the point is they're assigning value for you as a citizen. So if you like going out and collecting, harvesting resources, and that's what you get enjoyment out of in the game, you can provide value to a node by doing the thing that you already like to do. And so you become a citizen of a node. You can become a valuable member of that node community by providing resources to help assemble these blacksmithing stations, to help assemble these woodworking stations, whatever. And so you're helping to create the world in the game. It's not just a city's up and you turn stuff into some NPC person. You're actually like helping create this city. And we've talked about it in the past, like obviously there's going to be node wars. These nodes will rise and fall and these sorts of things. And it's like, well, how are you going to get people's skin in the game? How are you going to get people interested in wanting to attack and defend these nodes? Well, you can shut off content for people in the area. Like if your node is more highly developed, the nodes around you won't be able to progress as quickly, and so you'll develop conflict in that way. And also, if you're invested in the node, like you have a house there and you've been working and building towards it, and somebody wants to come tear it down, you're probably going to want to sit there and defend it. And so it was such a cool idea. Like, they don't really cover that aspect in the live stream. They go through the mayoral process. They show you how you can craft things. They go through the assembly of a building. They show all the great visual effects, and all this is fantastic. Like, this is fantastic. But my personal rant on what this is and what this means is they're assigning value in another way. And if you've been following this channel, and if you've been following my covering of these different things, you already see there's just all these different aspects of this game popping up. You have these master crafters, you have animal husbandry, you have blacksmithing, you have artisan crafts, you have woodworking, you have people that might spend the majority of their times out on the high seas, and they're going to need master boatsmen, boats crafters. I don't know what the word for it is. I'm sorry. You have all these different crafts where people are going to spend a lot of time doing these things. And now they're saying, hey, you like wandering and exploring the world and collecting stuff? Well, here you go. Like, this is a way to assign value for it. And I think that's great. I think it's so cool that we have a game where they're literally saying, like, all the stuff people enjoy doing, you now have the ability to do that on a much higher level. And the mayoral process, my God, I didn't think it was going to be like this. I really didn't. I really didn't think you could hand out quests. I really didn't think you could be limited or have your role expanded based on how popular you were, and having an increase in mandates based off of you doing the right thing and your villagers liking what you're doing. All this stuff was just so cool for me to see. Now, for me, I personally wanted to see the different art styles of the different races in the game. Like, they went through one and it was fantastic, but I was really hoping that they were going to flash to another art style. That was my personal opinion. Like, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see them to go into a little bit more detail between the differences between the different nodes. But like I said, the node system is so expansive. They had a 2-hour live stream and they could have gone on for 5 times that amount. They're not going to cover I knew that they weren't going to cover most of what I wanted to see, because there's just no way. Like, there's no way they could cover everything. And so odds are they're probably not going to cover what I wanted to see. And so I was very impressed with it. I was very impressed with the details. I was very impressed with the art. I was very impressed with this isn't going to be my personal thing as a player. Like, I am not like a harvester, quester. Like, it's not my biggest thing that I enjoy doing in a game. But I know a lot of people that are. And I know that they're going to get so much fun out of having this city building aspect in a game. And so that's my perspective. I am just one person. You're inclined, I know there's lots of beliefs out there as to what the live stream was and wasn't. I'd love to hear yours. I'd love to hear your thoughts as well. Did you like it? Did you think the live stream was good? Did you think it was bad? Anywhere in between? Leave me a comment. Let me know. Let's have a conversation about it. And if you don't want to do that on my channel, that's fine. I will be doing a podcast next Tuesday, 7:30 Eastern with Nice Gaming. And once again, we will be covering the node system, and we'll be covering whatever interesting conversations that pop up from that live stream itself. So feel free to stop by there, twitch.tv/istherenoneelse, or stop over at Nice Gaming's channel. I'm going to end this video here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a good one.